On February 28, 2022, a homicide occurred between Basilio Sanchez and Emiliano Zapata Street outside a house with the number 112 in the municipality of the Cadereyta Jimenez NL between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning.
1. Approach to the scene. At the time the report was made to the corresponding authorities, the first authority present at the scene of the crime was the Cadereyta Municipal Police. 2. Observe bird eye. Upon arrival of the search authority, the area was cordoned off, as well as the beginning of listening, smelling, and observing the area, both inside and outside, in order to choose the technique for the collection of evidence that would be taken into account in this case.
Secure and project on the area has been cordoned off to prevent the entry of third party, which could affect and alter the source and outset of the scene. 4. Preliminary software. At the end of the procedure, the authority in charge of the software event, which the procured of indication, sealed indications, as well as evidence that will help in the resolution of the case, and the forensic photography was introduced and beyond which the collection of the photographic evidence.
Step 5. Evaluate evidence possibilities. Upon completion of the detection of evidence, the forensic team began to prioritize the indications that are related to the incident, in order to send them to the corresponding laboratories, wherein the essence was found a 10mm firearm, as well as a knife with traces of blood, the victim's bag, the victim's cell phone, and a small suitcase which containing clothes. These became labeled with the corresponding numbers, like was preserving them in the photographic way. Step 6. Prepare a narrative. With the corresponding expert, the narrative report was started, in which the evidence was captured and fixed, as well as the beginning of the investigation, seeking to answer the following question to understand why the event happened. What? A fight started between the victim and her friend, ending in homicide. Who? There was a struggle which ended with a stabbing in the stomach to later give way to detonation from the back to the victim's chest. Where? Outside the victim's home when February 28, 2022. Who? Victim's friend and partner of the victim. With what? 10mm firearm and approximately 7-inch knife. Why? The reason for the homicide is not yet known, but it's theorized that this crime started because the victim's friends and her partner had a secret relationship and wanted to get the victims out of the way.
Step 7. The search of the scene sketch. While the narrative was being carried out, another expert began the search of the scene of the crime, where the garage of the house was rammed, as well the evidence and clues collect, as well the victim body. Step 8. Conduct a final survey. Before beginning the collection of evidence, a final observation of the scene was made to verify that there was no evidence that could assist in the investigation of the case. Once this was secured, the procedure of taking the reins of the crime was initiated. The collection of the weapons found, with cardboard and straps, was secured, as well as the victim's suitcase, purse, and cell phone. These began labeled with their respective numbers and stored in their corresponding container and put away.
9. Once all the evidence was labeled and packed, the chain of custody was initiated to start the procedure of the laboratories in charge of ballistics, where both the gun and the knife were sent to be analyzed, as well as to dactyloscopy, to know if there were any fingerprints of the suspect on it. Before sending the knife to dactyloscopy, it was sent to hematology to know if the blood traces on the knife were only from the victim or also from one of her aggressors, in order to avoid any alteration to the evidence as well as to the investigation.
After following the steps mentioned above, the jury was given a green light, where it is mentioned that the victim's ex-partner and her friend had an affair of about a year and a half behind the victim's back. So they decided to end the victim's life in order to be free and be able to live alive in a relationship without present any problem with the victim.